You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Wednesday the 10th of September 2025. It is 82 days after the summer solstice. It is 12 days before the fall equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 24th day of Fructidor, the day of the sorgho, the sorghum. The sun rises today at 6:32 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:53 p.m. The sun sets today at 7:13 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 7:40 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 8:13 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 38 seconds, shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 88% full at midday. The moon reaches its monthly perigee at 8:09 a.m. The third quarter will arrive on Sunday, the 14th of September. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the middle of the night, high tide, 12:35 a.m., 1 meter 71. In the morning, low tide, 6:33 a.m., 0 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 12:59 p.m., 1 meter 89. In the evening, low tide, 7:09 p.m., 0 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, as the pigeon molt continues, the sidewalks continue to be filled with shed feathers. In the last few weeks, the molted feathers have gotten larger, flight and tail feathers. They look so perfect with beautiful markings, it's hard to believe they needed to be replaced. But one by one, the pigeons grow the new and lose the old, fully decked out with new plumage as they approach the winter. Commemorations. Annals of the Labor Movement. On this day in 1897, the Latimer Massacre took place in Latimer, Pennsylvania. Coal miners had gone on strike. Mostly of immigrant stock, they included Poles, Slovaks, Lithuanians, and Germans. The unarmed strikers were marching for higher wages and better working conditions. They were set upon by a posse gathered by the Luzerne County Sheriff. 19 strikers were killed and many more were injured. It was discovered in the inquiry that followed that many of the dead had been shot in the back. The massacre galvanized coal miners across Pennsylvania, and the United Mine Workers enrolled more than 10,000 new members. 3 years later, the emboldened union won wage increases and safety improvements in the mines. Sheriff James Martin and his deputies were tried in February 1898 for killing one striker, but they were acquitted. Their defense attorneys characterized the miners as, quote, invaders from the steppes of Hungary, unquote, who had come to America to destroy peace and liberty. Where do we hear that kind of language today? On this day in 1932, the Independent Rapid Transit Railroad opened its first line along 8th Avenue from 207th Street to Chambers Street in Manhattan. The IND was owned by the City of New York, in contrast to the privately operated IRT and BMT lines. In 1940, all three would merge to become the subway we know today. Histories of grotesquerie. On this day in 1945, Mike, the headless chicken, was decapitated in Fruita, Colorado. Amazingly, because his brain stem was intact, he did not die, although he no longer had a head. Mike, the headless chicken, survived for another 18 months before he finally succumbed to choking to death. In Fruita, Colorado, an annual Mike the Headless Chicken Day is held every May. On this day in 1967, the people of Gibraltar voted to remain a British dependency rather than becoming part of Spain. The vote was 12,138 to 44. On this day in 1984, the first episode of Jeopardy aired. Alex Trebek was the host. Finally, today we mark World Suicide Prevention Day. Sponsored by the International Association for Suicide Prevention and the WHO, the World Health Organization, it promotes outreach and networks of support for those who contemplate taking their own lives. Let us honor those who do this important, compassionate work. And that is the Observatory, Wednesday, the 10th of September, 2025.